What's up guys, and welcome to Oknytt. This is an indie game released by Nemoria Entertainment about a week or two ago. I've been playing it here and there just to get a feel for the game, and I'm ready to talk about it and give a little bit of a rundown. I'm gonna start a new game while I talk about it. It's a point-and-click adventure game, and it has some goods and bads.
Hello, fellow traveler. Did you lose the trail? Come, have a seat by the fire. This is no night to be wandering these woods alone. You see, this is a special night, one rarely seen. Let me tell you a story to make the hours pass, one not many know of and even fewer believe to be real. What do you see in this piece of stone? Yes, it is small, not much to look at, and to most, not of any particular use. Yet it is not of irrelevance to the story that I am about to share with you. You see, every 100 years or so, a strange event occurs. As the days grow short and the nights long, a night darker than others ensues. It is said that when the moon leaves the sky, as darkness envelops the land and the stars awaken, you can hear the sounds of being rarely seen. And if one lingers in the dark shadows waiting for sight to return, things that any other night would seem to be one thing appear to be another. It was during a night like this that a small, in the scope of the world, insignificant creature with no name was born.
What is this place?
The insignificant creature without a name wondered as it emerged from the ground and began to explore the dark world.
And we emerge out of that pixelated cutscene. Sort of reminded me of all those old Warcraft 3 games when they had those cutscenes and they're all pixelated, but they look so cool. It reminded me of one of them. Looks like we have something going on in our scroll here. There might be someone around who can explain where I am. Maybe. But yes, this game is based on Swedish folklore, which is something interesting. Really, like, when I play through this game, I feel like I'm sort of learning about Swedish folklore. I don't know, it's sort of, at least to me, it incentivizes me to keep playing. But this game, like I've said plenty of times, is point and click. Point and click is a very specific type of genre. It's like, let's check out the spring here.
Beautiful place.
The small, insignificant creature thought to itself, admiring the reflected glow of the stars.
So everything has voice acting, every action you do, and that is pretty surprising for an indie game. And in an indie games usually don't have like really high production like voice acting, or that's really nothing I usually expect out of indie games or smaller production games. But this game really hits it home with the voice acting. Let's go to the Owl Stone. So we got something else being written in our notes here. There might be someone around who could explain where I am. Just read that one. A mysterious boulder standing in one of the clearings. Thought that was an E. It's a little hard to read the font. Oh, let's pick up this grindstone. One thing that I really think stands out in this game is its art style. Not only does it have like these dull, I want to say dull, but they're like very similar colors. They're very similar colors, but then the person, your little creature you're playing yourself, is three-dimensional in a two-dimensional world, which is sort of subtle, and it fits in well. And it gives this sort of, like, creepy tone to it, which is what I think they were going for. Let's check what's inside here.
Reaching into the hole, the small creature felt something flat, round, and hard. As it removed the object from the hole, it saw that it was an old coin.
But the production value is overall really high in this game. You have a lot of good-looking drawings and environments and voice acting and sounds.
One piece seemed to be sharper than the others.
Now let's take a look at our items so far, and we have quite a bit of stuff. And this falls into the fashion of old point-and-click games. Usually with point-and-click games you have a ton of items, there's a ton of things to walk around and click, and you find yourself spending an hour using every item with every object in the game to find out what you have to do next. And Oknytt is no different. You find yourself doing that a lot. And to be honest, there isn't anything that revolutionizes the genre. The only thing that's different between this and most point-and-click games is you have these little runes down here. Now each one affects the environment you're in differently. This one's more of an earth rune, this one's more of a water rune, this one's more of a fire rune, and this one's more of an air rune. So like if I use the fire rune right now, it's gonna light up that. What's the air rune gonna do? It's gonna, that's a water rune, it'll make it rain.
As the small creature explored its surroundings, tiny drops of rain began to fall from the dark sky.
And what's the earth rune? Ooh, it makes a little mushroom sound. Most of them don't do much, but sometimes they'll truly affect the environment so you can continue on with different puzzles. Okay, let's check out what's on this tool rack.
As the small creature touched it, the top part of the shaft easily came off.
But it's really interesting to play through this game and experience its story because, like I said, it's based on old Swedish folklore. And just, I don't know, getting that feeling of it is like, I feel like I'm delving into a world I've never even realized was there before. Let's go into the field, see what's here. I think there is something that pops up here if you mess with the runes a bit. So let's do some water. And let's do some earth. And what'll that do? That will sprout up some plants. Cool.
As the small creature walked across the field, stalks began to sprout from the wet soil. The small creature...
It's very, very reliant on old point-and-click style of gameplay. You're going to see that a lot throughout the video, and really, if you're not into point-and-clicks, you might not like this game as it is. But if you do enjoy an old point-and-click game and that style of gameplay, then you're really going to enjoy this. It goes along the lines of everything from, like, Sam & Max. That's my favorite point-and-click game. I love that game, Sam & Max, whatever the point-and-click version one is. And then there's, you know, Day of the Tentacle. All that kind of interesting stuff. Let's turn off our rain here. What is this? Let's take this piece of cloth.
Hey! An angry voice emanated from the shed as the creature was about to pick up the piece of cloth laying on the ground.
I found that. If you want it, you'll just have to bring me something else that I can use.
Alright, so this guy wants something he can use. But really, we're just finding out. Our story is with this unnamed creature, and we just need to figure out who we are, where we came from. And it's such a simple story, but it brings so much purpose to the game, really. Like, I mean, I don't know, like, I'm sort of curious, like, what is this thing? What is his use? What can we do to help him? And I sort of, like, get into it a bit. Thing is that I get thrown off a lot because of just how hard it can be sometimes figuring out what you have to do, trying all items with everything.
Tried to brush some of the dirt off as it picked up the old kettle.
Let's see, we got a needle over here. Oh, who is that?
The small creature picked up the sewing needle with care, making sure not to hurt itself.
But all of these creatures and things in this game are so original and interesting. And it's sort of surprising nobody else has made a game, or at least that I know of, that's based on Swedish folklore, because this stuff seems pretty interesting. The art style is very just original and interesting. Everything about this game I like. It's the style of it overall is really cool.
As the creature approached the corner of the room, a grumpy voice emanated from the darkness.
Who are you to enter my home uninvited? If you came to steal, know that a meager creature like you would be no match for me.
In the dark corner sat an old hustumt, staring at the creature.
Please forgive me.
The small creature responded anxiously.
I didn't mean to disturb you. I was simply curious about this place. I'm lost, you see.
The hustumt looked at the creature for quite a while before breaking the silence.
Well, you certainly don't look capable enough to be the thieving kind,
he muttered to himself.
But if I find that you conspired with him to steal my hat, you will be sorry you revealed yourself to me.
The Hustumpt became quiet for a while, seemingly calming down.
Although perhaps I could be persuaded to part with a couple of my belongings in return for something to calm my hunger. After all, most of these items have been gathering dust down here for as long as I can remember. But don't bring me anything fancy. I don't like brown nosing. Anything that will take care of my growling stomach will do.
Okay, so if you've been hearing, there's a lot of voice-acted lines of, dialogue. Everything in this game has some type of voice acting, and I really, really appreciate that. You very, very rarely see a game where every single line that was written is voice acted. But you're seeing that here. See what's in there.
In the remains of the old crate, the small creature found a ball of yarn.
Okay, so now we have a ball of yarn. I'm gonna combine this and this. I'm also gonna grind that and make some oats. But now, I want to address one thing, is even though there is a vast array of voice acting and a whole bunch of that, we also have a lot of issues with this.
No, that's not how it happened.
Okay, now you might be confused as why is that such a big problem? That one line is the only line you get for messing up. So every time you use anything wrong with the wrong thing, which happens a lot, if you are not following the walkthrough, you're gonna want to try everything with everything. You're gonna be hearing, no, that's not it, over and over and over. It's only a minor annoyance, but I have it embedded in my brain now. That, no, nothing, that's not it. Besides that, though, like I've said, the game has been pretty good. It's pretty in-depth for a point-and-click, and it has a nice little interesting story to it that's been written probably hundreds of years ago. I mean, from looking it up, Oknytt is sort of a story on its own. I saw some posts and different websites relating to Oknytt before this game came out.
The small creature hung the water-filled kettle.
Alright, now with that, we'll use our rune, and it will burn up the kettle. And this is exactly what we want. And this is showing you how you can use runes in different areas of the game to affect your environment and to help you out.
The small creature carefully removed the hot kettle from the fireplace.
And always I can walk over here and I can see this guy's lore and talk about it. You can always see that in the options as well. Not the options, but the lore library. And, every single one of these people are in actual Swedish lore. They have some type of resemblance. And it's all really cool, really. I feel like I'm learning something. And that kind of thing sort of gets me excited. If I'm learning while playing a game, I should probably play those Sesame Street 1, 2, 3 games, but... Alright, let's, pour this into here and make some oatmeal and then give that to him. And I think we'll leave it off at that. This has been Oknytt. Game for like $15 or $20. I'll link it in the description, nemoria.com. I really suggest, if you enjoy point and clicks, or if you want to try a new genre out, this might be where you want to start out. It's cheap, it's fun, and it's genuine. Alright, let's just give this guy his oatmeal.
The Hustumpt did not seem to want the small creature to move any closer.
You sure didn't hurry now, did you?
The Hustumpt muttered.
Were you planning on letting me wait all night after I let you take my belongings?
The small creature looked meekly at the floor.
Well, no matter, this will stave off the hunger.
The Hustumpt brought a spoon out from under his thick beard and began to eat.
Since you've already helped yourself to some of my objects, I hardly think a reward should be necessary.
The small creature hung its head as the Hustumpt put another spoonful into his mouth.
Fine. Here, I borrowed this from the wretched one. I have no use for it, so you might as well take it. Now go away.
As the Hustumpt filled the spoon once more, a long strand of thick silver hair came off and landed on the ground in front of the small creature, who saw no harm in picking it up.
Okay, like I said, I'm gonna leave it off with that. This has been Oknytt. It's also on Steam Greenlight. Gonna be linking that up. If you like this game, give it an upvote so it can get on Steam and, you know, get more well known. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys later.